Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. The other day I did a video on a spring snare. Today I want to do a little different variation on a spring snare. This one here is a foothold or leg hold snare, whichever way you want to put it. It works off of the same principle as the spring snare. The only difference is when you set this one up, you're catching them by the foot instead of by the head. So I've went ahead and prepped some of the pieces. You all didn't want to sit here and watch me whittle and clean bark off of a bunch of sticks, but I'll show you pretty much how it's set up and let you watch and talk you through it. And then when I get done and get it set up, I'll show you a close-up of it and how everything is done. So first thing you want to do is you need two sticks with a fork in the top of them, both of them roughly about the same diameter. And then what you do is you take them and drive them in the ground. Turn that around there. Got that one backwards. And I like to put them about a hand's width apart. You drive them down until they're about level. Like so. Then once you get them there, take a piece of string. This is just a tarred bank line. Put a slip knot in it, which is just a basic overhand knot with a stop knot in it. Take these and put them up into place. And all you're using this string for is just to hold this top piece in place so that it doesn't move. Snug it down pretty tight. And then just tie it off. My father is the one that taught me how to do this. He taught me pretty much to make three different traps. The figure 4 deadfall, the spring snare that I've done a video on before, and then this version of a spring snare. And then once you get that side done, you do the same thing on this side. I like the tarred bank line. It seems to hold really well when you're doing knots and stuff. If you notice, once I pull that tight, I'm putting a little overhand knot at the end of it. The reason for that is to keep that knot from slipping. It'll pull back against that knot and stop. There's pretty much the basis of the top part of it. Now, you have a trigger stick and you have a support for the trigger stick. What I like to do, and I found it works best, is if you smooth out a little spot on your support stick and then make a flat spot on your trigger stick to ride against that. I'm not going to make this really tight. what you do to put your trigger stick in, you make an overhand loop, and then pull a bite back through just like you would if you was putting a toggle in it, because technically that's all you're doing. And then put that trigger in there, and that'll hold without slipping. Then you take your trigger and you make sure that the knot for the line is on the front side where your flat spot's at, just like that. Then you pull that down and your trigger hooks underneath there, and then this cross piece goes across and catches, just like that. If y'all can see that, I'll give you a close-up here in a minute. Now in theory you'd want to put this a whole lot closer to the ground than I did, but if I get it down there too close to the ground, then it makes it hard to see. Then you take just a bunch of random sticks and you take them and you make a platform. Like I said, in theory you'd want to do this and have it about 1 inch off the ground, but this way it shows up a whole lot easier. Now I've seen this done. My dad's done it this way. He's also put 2 sticks and then laid them that way. So I mean, it's really depends on how you want to do it. But I'd say you've probably got an idea of what's getting ready to happen here. Then you take your other end put your slip knot in it to form your loop, and you lay your loop on top of the platform. Now let me get you out of here and let you see what I've done here. If you notice and look, I've got the top one lashed in place on both sides, so it won't move. This bottom one will move up and down right here, this stick here. And that is all that's holding your trigger. The string coming around that top bar is what causes the trigger stick to want to flip out once that bottom is released. Like I said, you'd want it a whole lot closer to the ground, but I've noticed when trying to show these to people, if I put it too close to the ground, it makes it hard to see. A lot of it starts blending into the grass. Where this stick slides on both of your uprights, you want to make sure they're good and smooth, don't have any knots or anything that'll keep that stick from dropping down. Then what happens, let me stick you back in this holder. And then what happens, once you do that and lay that on there, when the animal steps on it, that pops up, and then the string comes around their leg. Now, like I said, I didn't make this nowhere near as tight as you would if you were actually going to trap something. You would actually want that toggle and the loop a whole lot closer together without that much slack in it, so that when it does spring, it catches the leg. I've actually, on a few occasions, caught animals by the head with this trap. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Now, I'm going to reset it one more time so you can see what it does. Trigger comes down and behind that top stick, just like that. This stick comes across. Now, to adjust this thing on how sensitive it is, you can adjust your stick as to how much is actually on that trigger. The only thing is, if you get too little, this bottom stick wants to roll. Then you put these back in for your platform. Too short. Now I'm gonna make this loop a whole lot farther up this time. And then when the animal steps, it hooks around their leg. Well, I hope y'all found this interesting. It's just a different twist on a spring snare setup. Appreciate y'all's views. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Y'all have a good day.